All right, in January 2024, Vice Admiral Yvette Davids was appointed as the first woman superintendent of the U.S. Naval Academy. She holds 3 military degrees, including a bachelor's and 2 master's degrees. She served as a senior military advisor, chief of staff, naval director, and acting commander, among many other land and sea assignments. She's earned more than 16 service awards. Federal law requires Naval Academy superintendents to serve at least 3 years, which would take her to at least 2027. But Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth waived that rule, and on June 18th of this year, she was removed. Citing no reason for her removal, Hegseth has reassigned her as Deputy Chief of Naval Operations, a notably less public role. However, her boss in the new role would have been Admiral Lisa Franchetti, the first woman to serve as Chief of Naval Operations, except she was also removed. Franchetti served in every fleet. She has nearly 20 years of at-sea experience and 24 military awards. Commissioned through the Naval ROTC at Northwestern, a master's from the University of Phoenix, national security training at Harvard and MIT. She was removed on February the 21st. Then there's Admiral Linda Fagan, the first female commandant of the Coast Guard, with 36 years of experience. She's been awarded the Coast Guard's first ever Gold Ancient Trident Award, which is a new honor given to the longest serving active duty Marine safety officer. Her resume includes top level posts from policy and operations to Northern Command, which is responsible for defending the United States and coordinating with the defenses of Canada and Mexico and the Bahamas. She holds degrees from the Coast Guard Academy, the University of Washington, and the Industrial College of the Armed Forces. She was removed on January 21st. Lieutenant General Jennifer Short, who was serving as senior military assistant to the Secretary of Defense, also removed. Top of her class at Arizona State, a decorated officer with nearly a dozen service awards. She was removed on February the 21st. Vice Admiral Shoshana Chatfield, once the first female president of the U.S. Naval War College and most recently the U.S. military's representative to NATO's military committee, dismissed. She holds a master's from Harvard's Kennedy School and a doctorate from the University of San Diego, over a dozen military awards. She was removed on April 7th. See something here? Why were all these well-qualified senior military officials removed? The New York Times reports they were all, quote, dismissed as part of a campaign to root out diversity, equity, and inclusion from the military and restore what Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has described as a warrior ethos, end quote. Indeed, Hegseth's views on women in the military are no secret. In his book, The War on Warriors, published just last year, while admitting that he believes women have performed well in support roles, quote, women in the infantry, women in combat on purpose is another story. Dads push us to take risks. Moms put the training wheels on our bikes. We need moms, but not in the military, especially in combat units, end quote. The Atlantic's Tom Nichols puts it plainly, quote, the message to the women of the United States from the current commander-in-chief and his secretary of defense amounts to a sexist warning. Feel free to join the military and serve your country, but know your place. For more on this, I'm joined by Dr. Kyle-Ann Hunter. She's a combat veteran with multiple deployments as an AH-1 Super Cobra attack pilot. She's a professor of military and strategic studies at the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs and the CEO of the group Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. Dr. Hunter, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.
I think it was pretty obvious what I said. You don't have to read between the lines. There's no lines to read between. A number of very, very highly qualified women removed from their posts for no particular reason. In the military, women have never had an easier time achieving promotion.
Absolutely not. And throughout military history, going back to now almost 250 years of this country, women have been serving shoulder to shoulder beside men. And they have done this because of their qualifications, because of their ability to achieve. And this was, a decade ago when we removed the women in ground combat exclusion. One of the things that was very firmly established is that there are clear operational standards to do any job in the military,
right.
Whether you are a surface warfare officer, whether you are a fighter pilot, whether you are an infantry officer, whether you're going to Ranger School, there are very clear operational requirements that are very difficult. These are not easy requirements for anybody to make. And women can achieve them. Women have been achieving them. And as shown, particularly in 2 decades of combat in Iraq and Afghanistan, women don't just achieve them, they excel at them, and they bring a great benefit to our national security in doing so.
We also have an issue in which we need our military in this country. Whatever your views are on the military and what they're involved in, we need our military. It is harder and harder to recruit people for a lot of reasons. Pushing women to the edges of this thing is neither economically safe nor safe from a national security perspective.
Exactly. One of the things we've also seen is that over the course of the past decade, women's propensity to serve, that is their desire to want to join the military, has been slightly increasing. And this is a good thing. You know, the research is overwhelmingly clear that a military that looks like the country that it defends is a better military that we have. And so we've been seeing this. This is also happening at the same time that women are becoming more and more eligible to serve, even than men. You know, in every state in the country right now, women are at least 2% more eligible to serve. And so we want to be, if we really want the best and the brightest that we have out there, we really want to tap into the top talent that we have in this country, we need to be recruiting women into the military as well.
You and I were talking in the break about you're an attack helicopter pilot. Forget the attack part. You're a helicopter pilot. These are complicated things. There's no chance anyone would give you a permit, a license to be a helicopter pilot, less so a military helicopter pilot, less so an attack helicopter pilot. Like, there's no way to game that system.
No, and this
you're not jumping ahead of anyone if you cannot do the job you're assigned to do.
Exactly. And I went through the exact same training as my male counterparts. I was very fortunate to have an incredibly supportive cohort of people that I went through flight school with, most of whom were men, just given the time where it was. And it's because we all did the exact same thing. And when we think about what really builds a cohesive military, it is that doing the hard thing together.
Yes.
And then that continues on to our veteran service too, right? That we're able to do hard things together and work through hard problems. And we need more people who are willing to do that.
Did they cut anything in your training?
Oh, absolutely not.
Any expectations?
Absolutely
Did you do anything
not.
less than any of the men?
No, not at all.
And do you get the impression that any of these women I just talked about, and frankly, all the women I didn't talk about, who are not general officers in the military,
absolutely not
serving at any level, have you seen women get an easier break in the military because they're women?
Absolutely not. And what often we've seen is that women have a more difficult time because particularly the women that you mentioned, and so many of the women that are part of our post 9/11 generation that we represent at IAVA, they did this with gear and with weapon systems that were designed for male bodies because they hadn't yet done anthropomorphic views to look at what do women need in terms of safety equipment, what do they need in terms of boots and uniforms. And so I'd say there's some disadvantages that are there, which is also important because we don't know the cumulative impact of injuries that could be sustained from some of these gear and equipment that didn't fit, yet they continue to succeed. That is what we've seen.
You're trained in the military to sort of put your emotions to the side when you've got a mission. How does this feel? Because it's visceral to me. I mean, as I read that, and I knew because we decided several days ago to do this topic, it's just like, how can this be?
It is a very difficult and visceral thing to read. And I think one of my biggest concerns about this is that women are the fastest growing group of veterans. Women are the fastest growing group of people in the military. And these are, particularly when we're looking at the veteran population, it has been historically very, very difficult to get women into the care that they need post-service. And whether that is physical health care, we know from decades in Iraq and Afghanistan, there's tons of toxic exposure, cumulative exposure, even exposure domestically here to toxins on bases. And we need to get these women into culturally competent health care to save their lives, right? For early detections of cancer, for mental health screening. And when things like this happens, a big concern is that women are going to continue to self-select out of the system that's designed to protect them.
Right.
And so this isn't why
because you're telling women they're not equal to me.
Exactly. And
in the service, as a veteran, with the health care, with the mental health support, with the support that you need, you're basically just messaging to women.
Yeah,
you're not fully there.
You're not fully there. And this is tied to the same time that we've seen cuts and reduction in the VA workforce without any idea where it's actually coming from. And women are concerned. Women are concerned that they're not going to get the care that they have earned that is here because of the attitude. And stories like this, unfortunately, perpetuate a politicized narrative for women that just raise their hand to serve.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for being here for this discussion. And I hope we're together when we can talk about the fact that these things are being reversed.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Dr. Kylan Hunter is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps and the CEO of the group Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America.